All right. So in this video, we are going to learn the how to create login screen. And for the login screen, we will be using the Firebase Auth, and this login screen will be shown to the user if user is not logged in at very first. So if user want to open the app, they needs to be sign in or like or sign up with the Firebase Auth. So let's go to the Firebase Auth documentation and implement that Firebase authentication. So for that, we already have seen this documentation. Now go to this usage of authentication. Let's install this library, VS Code. Okay, paste this. Okay, it is being installed, this package. Meanwhile, we can see, yeah, so we have to install the pod as well. Go back to here, open this one, and meanwhile we can create one component, login component dot tsx. Okay, and here we'll be making that login component. So rnfs, one second, why it is not taking that okay, not an issue. Okay, save. Cool. So let's install the pod then. Okay, let's go to the screen back, the profile screen. If user is login, then we'll so meanwhile I'm commenting this for now and entering this login component. Yeah, so you can see the login component. Go back to here. Now let's create the design for the login. Then we'll be implementing the logic for that. Okay, cool. So okay, let's start with here. Remove this text. Okay, so after the pod installation, let's rerun the app again. Okay, now we can start the styling here. Okay, so let's do the inline styling first, then we'll put all the styling inside the stylec.create method. So let's start with flex 1, justify content center, and padding we can give for now 20. Wait a second, until this application is running, later on you can see the UI here as well. Meanwhile, we can create one text input. Text input is for the taking the input from the user. Okay, and we need to import this from the React Native here, and placeholder for the text input we can give email, put an email, and then we can enter here. We can give the value is basically the value on the text input user will see and user will modify. Okay, okay, now we can create two user states for now, email and password, name and phone number. Okay, so const email set email, and this is we are not going to import from the React, we'll directly import from the React here. Okay, now const password const name set name and const phone set phone. Okay, so here we can pass the email, then on change text, whenever user will type, this method will trigger. Okay, so we'll set the email. You can simply set the email, and the value we will get from this on change text directly passed to the set email. This is the one way, and another way, like we can do this way as well here, and we can call this set email, and here we can pass the text and we can get the text from this here. Okay, so this is the one way, and the short form of this is like we can directly pass the set email. Okay, cool. And one styling we can do, like we can give the border width, margin bottom, and border width we can give one, border color we can give this one, and border radius we can give 5, padding we can give 10, margin bottom we can 10. Okay, and for all the 4 fields we can set this way: email, for password, for name, for phone. This way we can save. Here you can see this one: email, password, name and phone. We are getting these things. Okay, so this is, I think, pretty much okay. And we can give the color this way as well, something this one. It is looking good. We can copy this, we can paste here, we can paste here, we can paste here, because for the button we are also going to give that color. Okay, now let's create one button with the touchable opacity. We are not going to use the button component. There is a one already button component in the React Native, but we are going to use the touchable opacity in text for the making the button. Okay, so we have all the flexibility to modify that touchable opacity from the React Native. And here in the styling we can give background color and padding. Okay, and we can also give the on press method. But now let's create one text, and inside the text we can give the login here this way, and in the text we can give the styling like this: color white, text line center, font weight this one. Okay, cool. Let's close this one. Okay, now let's format this, so we can close this one as well. You can see we have like text in 4 text input for all the email, password, name and phone. We have set the button. Now let's create one on handle login. Basically, whenever a user click on this login button, we have to handle the login. Okay, so we can set as well. Here we can create one method. We can give it like const handle login, and we can see the first all the details in the console first. Okay, let's open the console like DevTools here. Okay, now let's fill the email Bharat.Singh gmail.com. Okay, now fill the password, so we can set any password like Bharat at 123. Yeah, here one more thing, we have to give the security text entry. secure text entry, save. Now it is secure. Now name we can give Bharat, phone number we can give like 234567890. Okay, let me open the console. If I click on the login, login, we are getting, okay, so we are not getting the data. Let me check why. Yeah, we are not calling this handle login here in the button, so we need to call the on press, and we can pass this one. Now let's open this, let's click. So here you can see in the login details we have email, name, password and phone. Cool. So for now, actually this video is chat oriented. Basically main logic will be, learning here the chat related. So I'm not going to tell you how to make secure this password, because this direct password we cannot use it. We need to encrypt it using some techniques, hashing. Okay, then we need to send it over to the Firebase or like backend server, whatever you have in your project, in your organization, right? So for now I'm simply saving this password, but yeah, make sure these passwords related sensitive things are encrypted properly. Cool. So let's now implement that Firebase auth. Go to the back to the documentation. Here you can see we have some methods like on auth state change. If user is logged in or not logged in, we can get these states here from this on state change method. Okay, so this is the way to get if user is logged in or not logged in. And if you want to log in the user, we need to use this create user with email and password. So for that we need to put these things. Okay, cool. So let me see the what else we can check here. So here this is the signing out method, this is the sign up method, like for the login, for the sign up, and this is the anonymous signing, like user can sign in without any user id and without any email and password directly. So this is the one way. If you want you can, otherwise you can leave that. Yeah, so or in order to check the login status we can use this method on state change. Okay, so simple. So let's start it from here. And yeah, and one more thing I just wanted to tell you, that this create user with email and password, this method we can import it from the Firebase auth, is can do two things, like it can register the user, like sign up the user and sign in the user as well. So if you use this method and you use email id, so it checks first if this email id already exists, so it will sign in the user. If the email id is not exist, then it will sign up the user, like create a new user. So this method can do like both the things. We do not need to care about the sign in and sign up. So yeah, so it's a good thing. Like for the sign in and for the sign up we have only one method. We can call this get auth, and then this email we can pass and the password, and in the console we'll get the user account created and signed in. If there is any error we can get here. So copy this one. Okay, go back to the VS code here. Good. Here we can import it from this Firebase auth, and we can import it from the Firebase auth. Both the things we have imported, and here we can pass the email and the password. Cool. We can save this thing. And one more thing we have to do here is, like, we need to go to the let me check Firebase console, the project we have created at very first, or I think in the second video. I'll provide the link below. You can check to create this Firebase and set up Firebase. Okay, so in that you can see we have this we have created these two product, the product name is like the for the Android, for the iOS, correct? So in the build folder you can see the authentication, and in the sign in method we need to go to the email and password, and we need to enable this in order to use the sign in email and password. So now it is enabled, and we can use this feature. Okay, so make sure to enable this thing, and we can enable like Google sign in as well, but for now we are going to use this email password. Okay, cool. So let's go back to the VS Code. Now what we can do, we can do one thing. Okay, so we have this. Okay, cool. So let's click on this login and see what we are getting, if there is any error or not. Login. So user account created and signed in successfully. You can see we get this message, correct? So user is signed in now, and once user is signed in, we have to check like user is signed in or signed out. So for that, what we can do is we have to use this method. Let me show you that one. This method, yeah, this method in the app screen, or we can say the in the very first page, like in the contact list screen. So user cannot see the contact, all the chat screen, all the profile screen until and unless user is not signed in. So let me copy this thing, these methods only. Let me copy this thing. This one. Okay, and if user is not signed in, like if user is not there, so we'll return this login screen, otherwise we'll return the contact list screen. Okay, cool. So go back to the very first screen here. I hope you are getting the point. So in the home screen, I'll be putting this logic here, and I need to import this H. I need to import this from the Firebase Auth, and okay, so let me minimize this thing in order to visualize these things for now. Okay, all right, so let's console this user first, what we are getting in this state. Okay, so this is the one. Let me explain you once again. This is the state, user state, like initializing, set initializing. This is the loading state, like if the authentication process is in progress, so we will not see anything, and if it is successful, so if there is a like user is signed in, so we will get the data, and the set initialization will set to false. Cool. And if we get the data here, like in the user field, if you get any data, so we'll we can show the contact list screen here. If we don't get any data, we can show this login component. So for now we can do this thing, basically this thing, like this one, copy this one, go back to here, we can put this thing here. If the user is not there, so we'll return the login component. Cool. Okay, if user is there, so we'll return the contact screen. Okay, now let's test this. Okay, open the console here. Let's refresh the app once. Rendering more hooks than during the previous render. Let me kill the app once. Why we are getting this error? Okay, where we are getting this error, rendering more hooks than during the previous render. Okay, let me see. Here all the things seems to be good. Let me kill this like metro. Let me, sometimes it also creates some problem. Start set cache. Okay, now let me restart the rebuild the app. Let's see. Okay, again same issue. If I comment this out. Okay, this line was creating issue. Okay, I think inside this function we were returning something, and if I comment this out. Okay, so this set initialization is false, is creating some issue. Let me check why. So if initialization is true, set initialization is false. If initialization is true, okay. So I don't know why it is. So for now we can remove these lines. Okay, save. So we have the data. Okay, let me refresh this, kill this. Okay, so still we are on the good position. Like if the user has some data, then we'll show this screen. If user haven't anything, we'll showing this screen. Okay, cool. So let's check, do we have some data of the user? Yeah, in the user we have getting these data to user. Okay, so we can console this thing, user dot email. Is there something we going to get? No, I think. Let me clear this thing, reopen. Okay, here in the users, email. So we got the user email. That's cool. Okay, cool. So we can get the user email and we can set this user email here. Okay, so this, the contact list is fine working. Let me check the logout code once. So if the user is login, we want to log out, so we can do this code here. Let me go back to the profile screen. In the profile screen we have the login button still, so we can use this code over there as well. So okay, cool. Let me go back to the profile screen here, and let's paste this thing for now. Go back to the home screen and copy this thing and go back to the profile screen, and we can paste it here. Okay, cool. We can import this thing auth as well, and inside the handle logout we can pass this thing. And we can import this sign out. Cool, save. Okay, one more thing we can do here is we can check the, let me refresh the app first. Okay, now if user is logged in, so if user has some data, then we can show this one. Okay, so we can provide the ternary condition like this way. If user has some data, we can go with this. If user has nothing, we can show the login component. Okay, let me move this. Let me first reject all the things here. Okay, so if user has something, then we'll be showing this screen. Let me comment out this one, cut, we can paste it here. And if user is nothing, then we can show the login components. So this is the ternary condition, and we have to wrap it in the parentheses in order to work it properly. Okay, and why it is showing error, let me check. Okay, so we have the user here. Let me see why we are getting the error. One second. Okay, so I think in the JSX we are returning the two components. Actually JSX requires only one single component, so here we are returning two component. So let me remove. We can do another way, like we have, if we have user, let me remove this one completely, and let me remove this one completely. Let's check here in after return, if user is there, then we are going to return this component. If user is not there, then we are going to return this component, and this should work fine, I think. Okay, reload. Okay, still there is one issue. Yeah, so this curly braces is extra here. Reload profile. Yeah, so you can see the logout like profile page because user is logged in. So if I click on the logout, email of cannot read property, email of null, user.email here. Okay, so we cannot see this one now. Okay, cool. So if you click on the logout, you can see we have logged on screen, and in this we are still able to see the screen. So let me check. Yeah, here in the home screen we also don't have this email. Okay, so if I refresh this in the home screen as well, we are able to see the login. So we need to log in first in order to see any screen. So let's create this singh@gmail.com, password name Bharat. Okay, now if I log in, so it is saying already in use, the email already in use by another account. Okay, cool. So it's good. So we can check why we are not signed in, because in this documentation it is saying in order to sign in or sign up, we can use the same method, otherwise we need to sign in. So either we can use the sign in option as well. So let's see why it's not working. If it's not working, we can use the sign in with email address, or either for now, in order to check all the things working properly, we can use another email address. We can here put like 2, and if you click on login, okay, so the profile screen is there, so it means we are signed in. We can see the contact list now. If you click on the logout, we cannot see the login screen, we cannot see the contact list, we cannot see the profile page. You can see, so it's working fine. But one more thing is still left, like if user is signed in, like sign up already, then we are not able to sign in with the same email address. So I'm not sure why it is showing error. It should the user can create it and sign in. Okay, so I think we need to use this sign in email method. Okay, so for that we need to give one uh, another button for the sign in the login component. Here create one handle login. So one more method we can create is handle sign up. So create this thing, we can use this sign in method, email password. Cool. Cool. So this way, like if sign in with email address, we need to pass the email and password. In the then we'll be getting the user data, but we are not using the user data for now, but just we are checking the sign in process. Okay, and here this is the, so just remove the name, like this is the sign in, so this is not the login. Let me copy this, let me paste it here, and let me copy this and let me paste it here. So now it's fine. Like this is the sign up, create new email is means sign up, and sign in with like handle login. So now we have to create one more button here. We can create one more similar button, copy this, paste, and we can give name it like handle sign up, and here we can give login, so we can see login and sign up. So and one more text we can give it here, like text already have an account. Okay, in this styling we can give this way, already have an account, so we can use the login. So if we click on the login, we need to remove this name and phone, we just need email and password. So for that we we want a state data to handle these things, like remove these things. So let me create one state for the name is login, set login. Okay, so if first login is false, like user is going to sign up, if we set the set login true here in the login button, let me refresh it. Yeah, so let me think what we can do it. Yeah, so if user click on this login button, handle login, so first we need to remove these two things. So we need to set login true here, and we need to handle login again call. So let me comment at this thing, let me set login true first, and if set login is true, then we cannot show the phone and do. If login is true, is not true, then we are going to show these two things. If login is not true, then we are going to show these two. Sorry, this is not there, we need to remove this for a while here in the name. Yeah, if login is false, then we can show the this name and the phone. So now we can copy these two things and we can paste it here, and these two have two different components, so we need to make it single component. So we can use the simple libress, yeah, save. If we click on this login, we have only this email and password, and we can remove the sign up button as well. So yeah, we can cut this touchable opacity here. We can also below this one. So now we have this one. Okay, if we click on this login, this one, yeah, cool. So now if you just click on the login again, and if login is not true, then we have to click on the handle login thing. So now Bharat Singh ATM mail.com, and if you are logged in, okay, then what we have to do is we have to do nothing. It will automatically detect this thing, like what, yeah, in the profile screen it will detect automatically, and in the home screen it will detect automatically. Now cool, if click on login, let me see, user is null. Okay, let me click on here, let me refresh this one. So let me, yeah, sign in with mail and password, yeah, email and password, incorrect password. Okay, we got the error, incorrect password, Bharat Singh tm@gmail.com, and we can put one here, and password we have entered. We can try now. Okay, so I think it is incorrect password still, because we are not able to see anything. Okay, let me, okay, so this is creating issue again and again. Let me go to the documentation first and check the users list. So we can see we have all the users here, but you can notice one thing, like all the users are getting the, lowercase email. So this might be the issue. We were using like the uppercase. So let's go back to the here, and in the email we can set to the lowercase. Okay, and in the sign up also we can set to the lowercase. So all the time email is going to be the lowercase. Okay, cool. Now we can go back to the here, click login. We can see the this email, and we can paste it here. Now in the password, we have just uncommented this. Let's enable this, save. Okay, now let me click on the login. Let's go back to here, password incorrect. Okay, and one more thing I found, that we are put the wrong logic here. Like if we click on this, let me show the sign up button. Okay, here, then this login state is set to true. So we are checking here like the false condition, like the, if it is true, then it will convert to the false, and it will not hit this login button, it will hit the sign up button. Okay, so what is happening here, we have to set it to the if login is true, then click this one, right? So yeah, so it's cool now. I think it should work. One more thing we can do is we can trim the password. If there is any extra space in the sign up and in the login, we can remove that one as well. Set trim. Okay, let me refresh this. Cool. Okay, go back to the profile. Now I have already signed in. Let me put this email id, email.com here. If we log in, you can see we are logged in now successfully. You can see user is signed in. It means it is printing this this one, this console. So we are logged in. We can see now home profile. We can see if we click log out, this screen will come. Log in again. Okay, cool. So this authentication is working properly. Like we have the login, we have the logout, we have the sign up. Okay, so one more thing we can do is we can create a separate what we can say, yeah, we can create a separate file for this logic, because this is we are using in the profile screen and we are using in same it is in the home screen. So for this scenario we can create a separate screen, separate file, common file we can say, like in the utility folders, or we can say in the services, or in the we can create new folder like utility. But for now this video is already long, so I'm not using in creating the common file in this video. So let's end this video now. In the next upcoming video, whenever we are going to rectify our code or optimize the code, then we'll be doing these things. In the next video we'll be going to watch the most probably the chat screen. Okay, so yeah, if you like the video, please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.